Every Pokemon I would eat is a hilarious. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, that's so funny. Hold up. Yeah, let's watch this one. Every Pokemon I would eat. Well, I would eat, as much as I love Pinkerton, I'd eat Pinkerton. I'd probably eat most of the seafood Pokemon because I do love seafood. I do like me some lamb, so I might throw like a double in there, you know. That's a sheep. But I mean, hey man, I have a hard time believing that the people in the Pokemon universe are all like vegetarians or like they just don't eat Pokemon. I have a really hard time believing that.
Greetings, Poke fans! Michael here,
Hello.
and this video is gonna get playfully morally gray. People in the Pokemon world eat Pokemon. It's a fact.
Like Slowpoke
It's a bit
tails.
odd considering all the talk about the friendships and partnerships they form, but it's not the most outlandish thing canonical
I'd eat Kingler, like king crab. Wait, that's so smart.
to the Pokemon world. And since I like to eat, there are some Pokemon that I would probably like to eat too. Here's every single one of them. First is Slowpoke, immediately demonstrating that this list is going to be not just Pokemon themselves, but also Pokemon parts and products. For Slowpoke, I would eat its tail. I know there was that whole thing in Johto with Team Rocket, you know, bad guys cutting off the Slowpoke tails. Ah, how could they? But the reality is, the tails have been described as pleasant to chew on or flavorful. But then fast forward to Alola, where the dex entries discuss that the tail often breaks off painlessly and is then used for Alolan cooking, specifically a salty stew. That sounds nice. I'd have Slowpoke tail stew on a cold winter's day. Next is Farfetch'd. In the anime, Farfetch'd has a dex entry that states, Farfetch'd makes a delicious meal, especially when cooked with leek. You got the meat and the veggies in one package. I should probably mention that that same dex entry continues, because of this, Farfetch'd is nearly extinct. Which is sad, and I would of course never eat an endangered Pokemon, but if they hunted it that much, it's gotta be good. Next up is Chansey and Blissey. Their eggs, specifically, both have tons of dex entries discussing how the eggs they carry are delicious, packed with nutrients, and do all kinds of nice things for the person, including but not limited to making them happy, bringing good fortune, curing their illnesses, and making someone unfailingly caring and pleasant to everyone. Sign me up for a Chansey or Blissey egg breakfast burrito each morning and I'll be doing great. Not Happini though, it carries a rock. Another Pokemon product I wanna try is Shuckle's Juice, which sounds weird, but let me explain. Lots of dex entries talk about it making juice inside its shell, but the Sinnoh games explicitly state it stores berries in its shell. The berries eventually ferment to become delicious juices. There we go. Confirmation the juice is just delicious fermented berries, which I guess kind of makes it a kind of wine. I'm not much of a wine guy, but if they say it's delicious, then it's gotta be. Next up are the pigs, since I like various forms of bacon, ham, and pork. Grumpig and Piloswine are the ones I'd go for, and these are the only ones. Tepig, Spoink, Swinub, and Lechonk are too small, while Pignite, Emboar, and Mamoswine seem too muscly and tough. Grumpig seems the most like a normal pig, albeit with psychic powers, and Piloswine's need to insulate itself from the cold means it likely has a lot of juicy, fatty meat. Piloswine bacon sounds incredible. I'm very sorry. John, AKA PM7, good friend of mine, loves Mamoswine.
Mamoswine is my absolute favorite.
I'm not eating the Mamoswine. Just the Piloswine. Venison is deer meat, something I have enjoyed before, but not had in a long time.
I've only had venison like 2-3 times in my life, but it's always been good. It's definitely a little gamey.
Long time, but since I have enjoyed it, you can imagine I'd be down to try Stantler, Weirdeer, and Sawsbuck. Not Deerling though. I'm not gonna eat Bambi. Young. I'll eat his mom though. Another uncommon but not super unusual meat is bison, and it is very tasty. I highly recommend trying a bison burger if you go to a restaurant that offers it. Meaning in the Pokemon world, I'd likely enjoy a Bouffalont burger. And probably Tauros too, though it's closer to a regular cow. Speaking of cows, I would eat Miltank.
I would also suckle on Miltank's udders. That was a joke, but I would drink moo moo milk.
Every day. Steak, burgers, tacos, you name it. With how pudgy it is, the whole thing has got to be Wagyu beef. Plus, I hate it. so I would get to enjoy both the flavor and its demise. I suppose I would drink its milk too. I'm sure it's quite good. I just feel a little more weird about that. Plus, it'd be less fun because it can provide milk without dying, and I want it to die. Ha-ha! It's just I, Grunted Boy!
Hey, man. What's that you got there?
These are the new wireless gaming headphones from Raycon, the sponsor of today's video. I've decided to add Pro Gamer to my resume, and these help me do it. They're super comfortable and sound incredible with 3 sound profiles, pure, balanced, and bass. The mic focuses on your voice and blocks out room noise too, and their hypersync low latency technology makes sure you're hearing what you're seeing.
Wow, those look great. I need to get a pair for my PC or console gaming at home.
Home gaming isn't all they have to offer, though.
Well, what the?
Behold,
Okay,
the
I knew they
Raycon
made those.
wireless
I didn't know
gaming
they made, like,
earbuds.
gaming headphones.
These more compact earbuds are great for gaming anywhere, but
That's
especially on the
crazy.
go, like for mobile or portable Switch gaming. Both these and the gaming headphones pair seamlessly with the click of a button, and both are of course perfect for gaming and any listening at all, like music or podcasts. I use them to listen to classical music while I write my memoirs.
They seem great,
What?
and I definitely want them, but we are glossing over the fact that you just did actual
casually
magic.
committing crimes.
And what is this about classical
and
music and
writing
memoirs?
Becoming a pro gamer has given me powers and intellect beyond your plebeian understanding. Although, I can't seem to remember what grass is like. It's blue, right?
I don't have time for
Oh
this.
my God.
Click the link in the description below or head to
Grunty Boy might be
buyraycon.com/MandJTV to get 15% off your Raycon purchase, plus $20 off the gaming earbuds and $10 off the gaming headphones. Wait, how did I know to say that?
I simply placed the words in your mind and compelled you to say them. It's what I call a pro gamer move. Ta-ta!
Okay.
So that's pork, venison, bison, beef. I've never really liked lamb, so I'm gonna skip the sheep.
Aw, I
and
love lamb.
of course,
That's my favorite
poultry.
red
I did
meat.
already cover far-fetched, which is really the only duck I'd eat, since psyduck, gold duck, ducklet, and quaxley are either too small or are too far from a regular duck. As for chicken, shockingly, the only Pokemon equivalent I would eat is Combuskin. Torchic is too small, and Blaziken is too, human and on fire. But every Combuskin has 2
spicy
incredible
chicken
looking
doesn't
drumsticks
sound
that I'm
bad.
certain would pair excellently with buffalo sauce and ranch dressing. Then while I'm not technically sure it counts as poultry, but I feel like it's close enough, the next would be unpheasant. I've never had pheasant meat, but I know people eat it, so I'd be down to try it. Plus then I'd get to decrease the population of the dumbest regional bird, so I'd be doing the Pokemon world a service. Like I said, playfully morally gray. I think that's enough meat for now. Let's do some fruits and veggies. And fungus.
Cherubi?
Morlul and Shiinotic are the mushroom Pokemon I'd be most interested to try, assuming the chef ensures me it's safe to eat. I like mushrooms, and these 2 are the only mushroom Pokemon that aren't poison type, parasiting a bug, specifically have their spores described as so toxic they make trees wilt, or a kangaroo. Oddly enough, I have actually tried a small bit of kangaroo meat in the past.
Yeah, I have too.
Wasn't great. But maybe it just wasn't prepared well, I don't know. Petalil is a plant-based Pokemon
fine.
that has consumption of part of
Like,
it discussed a lot.
It was just fine. It wasn't something I was like, oh my God, I need to have this now.
Most of its dex entries discuss taking the leaves from its head, drying them, then boiling them to make a drink that is super bitter, but is an incredible counteractant to fatigue. It's top tier tea. Add some honey and milk to
it's
counteract
literally
the
just
bitterness,
tea.
and I'll swap out my morning coffee for a morning Petalil tea in
You know, I don't think I do that, but you know, maybe on the occasion, I'm just too addicted to coffee, I suppose.
a heartbeat. I'll feel great all day. Also, they discuss how it can also be used as a bug repellent, which I think is a little weird that we can eat that, but like, hey, people do it. It must be safe. Now, for some fruit. Tropius's fruit is a no-brainer. Most of its dex entries talk about how people eat the delicious fruit growing from its
Will that
neck,
hurt the
so that's an
Tropius?
easy one. Another fruit Pokemon piece explicitly stated to be tasty is Cherubi's small ball. So it's no wonder Starly and Mikey alike try to peck it off. Cherim has similar cherry-like balls on its head, but since nothing discusses that those are edible, I'm more hesitant. Applin is simply inhabiting an apple, so once cleaned, I would of course eat a regular apple.
no.
However, the flavor of the apple determines whether it evolves into Flapple or Appleton, so I'd prefer to eat a sweet apple that would turn it into Appleton, which is actually the next Pokemon. The dex says the skin on its back is especially yummy. Children used to have it as a snack. I don't know if eating
That's
an
so
Appleton's
sad.
skin
Yeah,
still
I
counts
don't
as
think
fruit,
I'd
or
wanna
if that
eat
moves
its
into the meat
skin.
category. But like, it's fused with an apple. it's gotta just be like fruit. And like the Appleton, I think is probably fine, right? Like it's chill with that. It does say the children used to do it. Maybe some Pokemon rights groups got involved and made that stop. It's probably nothing. Just, I'll try some Appleton skin, hand it to me. The next fruit is Bounsweet, but, and this is gonna sound weird, only it's sweat. Although it's too sugary for human consumption, Bounsweet sweat can be watered down into a juice with just the right amount of sweetness. If Bounsweet's not watered down sweat is too sweet for human consumption, I assume its body would be too. So just give me some of its watered down sweat and I'll have a delicious drink on a warm summer's day. Next is Snover's berries. I didn't know this until making this video, but apparently in the spring it grows berries with the texture of frozen treats around its belly. Gather some up, make a smoothie. Sounds awesome. The next plant-based one might require some convincing, but hear me out. Pumpkaboo and Gorgeist.
I love pumpkin.
Pumpkin spiced everything. I love pumpkin stuff. Pumpkin pies, pumpkin pancakes, pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin cheesecake, pumpkin pie ice cream, you name pumpkin followed by a food.
Oh my gosh. I am currently like trying to cut back on my sugar, which is like, I feel like this is such a bad time of year to do that, but I gave in and I went to Baskin Robbins to buy their pumpkin like cheesecake ice cream, like a pint of it, and it's just sitting in my freezer, and I'm trying to tell myself, Poseidon, only 1 scoop a day, all right? Can't have more than that. And it's so good. I'm a pumpkin girly at heart, all right? It's so good.
I'm probably gonna like it. Okay, not any food, like sweet treats preferably. Like pumpkin and meat, I feel like that wouldn't mix. Like pumpkin salmon. So of course I'd have to eat the pumpkin Pokemon.
Soup is good,
now
though.
I know they're ghost type and transport spirits and sing joyfully as they observe the suffering of their prey. Minor stuff, but if we remove the ghost part, what's left is just pumpkin. Pumpkaboo's deck says the pumpkin body is inhabited by a spirit trapped in this world. We do a little seance, we have the spirit move on and finally be at peace, and then I get some peace too. Pieces of pumpkin pie. Assuming the departure of the spirit doesn't make the pumpkin instantly rot because the possession was what was keeping it from doing so. And I also don't get like cursed or anything for eating it. There are some conditions, but if all are met, then I'm super down. That covers the plant ones, so let's get back to meat. Specifically, seafood. Basculin is a no-brainer. The deck says, verbatim, they are also remarkably tasty. Remarkably tasty? I am so in. The Galar games talk about how the red striped form is more fatty and popular with the youth, while the blue striped form has an inoffensive light flavor. Give me both. They also say they used to be more popular on the dinner table, but I say we bring the popularity back. They're jerks with an overpopulation problem. What better Pokemon to eat besides Miltank? Barraskewda is another fish that is explicitly stated to taste good.
I don't think he
Apparently,
likes
Barraskewda's
Miltank.
flesh is surprisingly tasty too.
I
will have some, please.
favorite.
Not Arracuda though, seems too small, plus it seems to have a tendency to get caught in things' throats. I don't want to choke. Next up is an alliterative group. Krabby, Kingler, Clauncher, Clawitzer, Crabrawler, Crabominable, and Cloth. Crab meat is excellent seafood, and these Pokemon are where to get it. In the anime, Professor Oak says Gary's large Krabby would make a great meal, and Kingler is just Krabby but with way more delicious crab meat. Ultra Sun says Clauncher's claw meat is delicious, and Ultra Moon says Clawitzer's big claw is packed with meat and is used as a cooking ingredient when it falls off. Then Crabrawler's claws have only a little meat, but it's rich and delicious. And while none of Crabominable's dex entries discuss eating its claw meat, I'm assuming it's just more of the same thing, just maybe needs to be cooked longer. Now, if you're wondering why Corphish and Crawdont are excluded here, allow me to reference Crawdont's Ultra Moon dex entry. Unlike with Crabrawler or Clauncher, the meat in its claws is utterly nasty and stinking.
That's
pretty
disgusting.
Strong reason not to eat Crawdont or Corphish by extension. But even more reason to eat the others. Finally, Cloth's claws are said to be a valuable cooking ingredient, so they must be tasty. Next are the oyster or scallop Pokemon.
Oh God,
Shelder,
I love oysters. Oysters are so good. Chad, I fucking love oysters.
Oyster and clam
With like hot sauce and lemon, chef's kiss, perfect.
pearl. I bet they'd make some pretty bomb clam chowder. Am I doing the Boston accent right? Bak the ka? Clam chowder?
I wouldn't know.
Or raw oysters. I'm not as into those, but I have eaten them. I think they're fine. Some people really like them. I'm more like,
I'm
it's
one
a
of
little
those
weird. It's
people.
all right. Also, I should probably mention that supposedly cloysters innards and like what's inside, like fully, have like never been seen. But if we found out and it was good meat, which I feel like it would be, I'd eat it. Major scientific discovery. I'm like, fry it up and serve it to me on
That
a
is true. Oysters are aphrodisiac, so.
plate. Inkay and Malamar are not confined to the sea, but they're squids, and I love fried calamari. Change
do
one
too.
letter and add another, and you've got Malamari. I'm sure there won't be any weird
Malamari.
mind control side effects either. How's Malamar gonna mind control me if it's dead? I'm not a huge fan of eel meat, but I can enjoy it on some soup.
It's good. I think unagi or like eel is a great like gateway sushi. That's how I got into sushi. My parents just kept feeding me unagi every time they went to go get sushi.
Sushi. So therefore,
It tastes like, I don't know how to describe it. It just tastes like soft chicken.
I'd be down to try the at least somewhat eel-inspired Pokemon. Huntail, Gorbis, Electric, and Eelektross. Not Tynamo. Too tiny. Yo. Moving on from seafood, Rabambi's pollen puffs are apparently highly nutritious and sold as supplements, so I would take a multi-B vitamin. Oh gosh. And then finally we have some Pokemon that are just food with faces. Not execute. I've finally come around. I understand it's seeds, they're not just eggs. Swirlix is just sentient cotton candy, and it looks a lot more edible than Slurpuff, which appears to just be more of a creature with cotton candy attached, and I don't wanna mess with that. Lastly, Milcery and Alcremie are just cream and whipped cream. Like I already used those things. Like we use cream to make like cheese sauce in a pasta. Whipped cream, put it on the pumpkin pie, and it like, I feel like you wouldn't have to do anything to make that work with these Pokemon. And that's every Pokemon I would eat. Let me know in the comments below if there's any that I missed that you think would be delicious. And thank you so much for watching. With an extra special thanks to my patrons over on Patreon who are helping support my channel independent of fluctuating YouTube ad rates. If you want to help support me in the same way, the link's in the description below. And if you want to check out some more of my fun Pokemon content, I recommend these videos here. But that is all I have for now. So until next time, big fans, gotta catch them all.
Oh God, yeah, this is definitely a video of all time. I agreed with most of those takes. I think if I were to pick a Pokemon I'd eat first, definitely Kingler. I do love me some king crab.